That uncertainty that we get going into the elections could see a little bit of profit taking. So it's not the actual elections that we're looking at, it's that uncertainty that we get and what we see from the White House and what we see from Trump moving up to those elections. Do we see the Republicans remain control of both the Senate and the House? Do we see a bit of a flip with the Democrats coming in? What will then normally happen is once we do get certainty after the elections, things tend to rise up again, but it could be a different story this time. Hello and welcome to ATFX. Right, this is the second part of our series where we're looking at some potential movers for the markets in the second half of 2026. One of the main characters behind a lot of volatility resides in the White House, and his name's Donald Trump. So one of the things that looking like could be moving markets massively in the second half, and it comes in November, midterm elections in the US. So not normally something that gets markets moving massively, but it's the uncertainty that we get moving into those elections. Do we see the Republicans remain control of both the Senate and the House? Do we see a bit of a flip with the Democrats coming in? It's this uncertainty that is likely to move markets. And of course, it's the uncertainty that we get from President Trump all the way across markets that could really start to see some volatility. Now, we already have heard the midterm elections crop up a few times when we've looked at the Middle East and some of the moves that have taken place there. He is very aware of his popularity, and he's very aware that these elections are coming up, and there is a bit of a risk that the Democrats could come. And I think they only need 3 or 4 seats in the House, that they could take control out of the House, make things a lot more difficult for the Republicans moving forward into the last part of his term. So it's not the actual elections that we're looking at, it's that uncertainty that we get and what we see from the White House and what we see from Trump moving up to those elections. Some things we could see increased spending coming from the White House that could put inflationary pressures, could see rate hike expectations jump up again. And we could see the dollar appreciate on the back of that. Stock markets, of course, as we know, have been going great guns. But that uncertainty that we get going into the elections could see a little bit of profit taking, especially in some of the bigger movers. We've seen the tech markets go great guns and strides all the way through 2026 so far. What will then normally happen is once we do get certainty after the elections, things tend to rise up again. I think we see the S&P move up at least 17% after midterm elections traditionally, but it could be a different story this time. So plenty going on. You will hear them being brought up over the next few months. I know we're only in July at the moment, but we've got what's probably going to be a relatively quiet trading period coming up when the Northern Hemisphere has summer holidays. So the last part of July and August tend to see more range-bound conditions in the market. Then we come back, the US markets will return after that August holiday session into September, and there will be a big focus. You'll hear midterm elections coming up. There's a possibility if things do go a little bit crazy, and they have been so far in 2026, the haven appeal of the dollar could appreciate higher. We could see gold move a little bit higher as well on the back of safe haven buying. But we will probably see uncertainty into that. That could see stocks fall off. It's going to be a very interesting time in the coming weeks and months ahead. So one of the things to look at, one of the big movers for markets we're predicting for the second half of the year, midterm elections. Stay in contact with us at ATFX. We'll keep you updated on everything that's moving through the market. And this is going to be one of the things we're going to be keeping a very close eye on. So thanks for tuning in. Good luck with your trading. And as always, if you need anything from us, please do get in contact. Thank you.